from my brother-in-law, because I would never do that.
So, the first hand after the dinner break, and Afshin picks up ace king right off the bat, and the other two fold.
You never know how a final table is going to unfold, and in this situation, we have 3 players left. 2 of them were the short stacks when we began the final table. Afshin was a short stack, Daniel was the second short stack, and here they are now, 3-handed with a chance at the title.
Yeah, I have to say that Afshin, who also had a short stack for most of day 3, he's really impressed me with a patient game and picked his spots carefully, and now he's a chip leader with a heck of a chance to win the whole thing, actually.
So they are now playing 250,000, 500,000 with a 50,000 ante. So for someone like Vegard, well, he's running out of time. And chips, right now, he folded the button to Daniel in the small blind. Raises 7-6 suited. Afshin in the big blind. He folds. Pink chips, 100,000. Yellow chips, 25,000. And the beige chips are 5,000. I'm really sorry. You know, remember a couple of days ago, Norman, when I introduced, well, beige. I mean, I really regret that I didn't go with gray now. I mean, it's getting late. We've done a lot of commentary this week, and on this final day, I wish I had gone with gray. Beige seemed like a good idea.
Beige seems to have some type of cachet to it, but eventually beige grows old, having to say it again and again.
Beige.
So Daniel picks up a hand on the button. They're playing 3-handed, so button the first act, pre-flop, opens with the pocket 7s to 1 million. Afshin in the small blind with pocket 4s. Did he just announce a 3-bet? I think he did. Well, he announced a raise, but it will be a 3-bet. Well, occasionally you hear people say, I 3-bet.
Oh, you know, I'm not familiar with people saying I 3-bet.
Oh, I've heard it several times.
Wow.
$2.5 million from Afshin. Quick fold from Vegard. Back to Daniel, or Daniel, as we say in Norwegian. If I switch back and forth, it's because you are here, Norman Chad. And Daniel's all in. And Afshin, was that a call? No.
I think he asked for a count.
That was a kind of dramatic way to ask for a count. He folds. You were absolutely right, Andreas. So I had the pleasure of sitting opposite Afshin at dinner. Very nice and friendly guy. Very happy and, of course, excited to sit at the final table as one of the 3 remaining players in this championship. So here you see the payouts. 22,780 euro more to the winner. Third and second prize both get 80,000 euros.
And Vegard, as you mentioned a few moments ago, not a whole lot of time now. He's down around 5 or 6 million. The blinds come up very quickly, and every time around it's 900,000. And it comes around very quickly. Every 3 hands, another 900,000 go in. So you've got to make a move before you get too short.
Well, he might get a chance here because Afshin raises on the button, 10-9 suited, the ace-8 suited for Vegard in the small blind. 1 million is the raise, and he's all in.
Ship it.
Daniel Looks down at queen 6, and he's probably going to fold. So back to option. It will cost him more than 5 million to call here, and he folds.
As I mentioned earlier, Vegard with 4 World Series of Poker cashes. But there's cashes and then there's cashes. Some guys just get the min cash. Vegard and his 4 cashes, all times he made to the final 4 tables with 2 ninth place finishes. So he's getting quite deep. And as I mentioned earlier, easily the most accomplished player at this table.
Yeah, he has been around for a long time.
And 3rd at the horse event here a couple of years ago. He was 5th in the mixed 8 event here at the Norwegian Championships last year. That's another reason I like him. He can play all the games.
And he plays all of them very well. From what I've been told, I don't play too many of those games myself, but...
Well, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. There's a lot of different stuff out there. You don't want to play No Limit every day for the rest of your life, do you? I mean, you and I both like rigatoni bolognese. We don't want to eat it every day for the rest of our life, do we? Play all the games.
So the trophy will go to either Bergen, Oslo, or Shetland.
How'd you pronounce that?
Shetland.
I don't think so. that's really unfortunate because it's your native language.
Yeah, well,
and,
enlighten me.
I don't think it's pronounced Shetland. Okay, I might be wrong.
Yeah,
but I think it's pronounced Salt Lake City.
Daniel, ace-10 on the button. He raises. Min raise to 1 million. And I think, well, now that he started doing this 3-hand, I don't think we're going to see any other race at all pre-flop.
I think you're right.
And Vegard folds the big blind. And Daniel takes it down.
I have a question, Norman. In Salt Lake City, are polygamy? No?
In Salt Lake City?
Polygamy? No.
Polygamy, is that legal there? Or is it just frowned upon?
You know, that's Utah is the home of polygamy in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's been in the news the last 10 years because there's been a fight between the sect that does it and the government trying to stop it. So I don't know where it is right now legally, but if you have polygamist thoughts, that's where you want to go.
Well, I'm booking my tickets.
Okay.
Okay.
TMI. No, but was it coincident you asked Norman? Because I think he misunderstood. I mean, he had 3 wives, but not at the same time. Andreas, not at the same time.
Glad you clarified that for him.
It's a language barrier. I'm sorry.
However, I will point out that 8 more hands at this final table, and it'll officially be longer than my second marriage. So we're getting close.
And we are, well, 9 minutes into the first level after the dinner break. Afshin, a little bit, well, he's 4 million, a little more than that down since he sat down. And Mr. Nesbakken is a little bit up. So is, well, Vegard about the same, I would think. 15 million for Daniel now. Ace-9 suited on the button. And, well, There you go. Option in the small blind. Tray 4. He folds. So I think maybe Daniel will get a customer here. Pocket 6s for Vegard.
Could see some fireworks here.
And he's all in. Daniel asking for the count. As you mentioned, Norman, the youngest player at this final table at the moment.
22 years old.
I believe that Afshin is 33. And I forgot to ask Vegard how old he is. But Andreas, I don't think he is 50.
No, me neither.
I think he would be a little bit insulted if he goes back and listens to the stream. From,
I never said that Vegard was 50. I said he was probably the second oldest after Terje Wangberg.
I think you mentioned the age.
Yes, I said that.
You said
Terje was probably over 50. Vegard was probably under. I think I said
No,
49 or something.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not
49.
50.
No, it's true. But still, you gave a number. So, well, Daniel is still waiting. He wants an exact count. Exact count, I should say. And I'm gonna wait to see what happens here.
Three-handed action.
Yeah, and I
Ace
think
9
he,
looks
I really,
pretty good.
He called. So a coin flip. Vegard is the all-in player, but he is ahead. Five, 4, 7. Vegard still with the best hand and picks up a open-ended gut shot, and the king on the turn, so only an ace or a 9 who knocks Vegard out of the tournament, and he doubles up to 13.8 million. So Daniel down to 8.2 million, and now he is the short stack at the table. So like we said, I mean, this could go on, well, potentially for quite a while yet, even though the blinds and entries are creeping up on the players. But then again, it could be over like in 5 minutes. You never know.
They have played, though, rather carefully throughout most of the night. We've seen so few times someone being out of line. We've seen marginal situations where someone could call an all in, you're not sure which way they're going to go, and they often fold. So they've been playing safer than crazier.
Vegard was overly safe with his ace-king suited preflop earlier, but that might pay off.
So, even though a lot of the Norwegians have left City West Hotel here in Dublin, there are still quite a few Norwegians left, and also some Irish players. I do believe that there are, well, at least 2 tournaments going on out in the outer area here, along with a lot of cash games table too. So, opportunity to play poker, and I believe that the cash games will be going in, keep on going out into the late hours. So, And Vegard, he puts Daniel all in, and Daniel folds. So Vegard applying pressure now.
Yeah, with king high from the small blind, that's the way to go. And Vegard, of course, knows that.
So I believe that Daniel is going to leave us for a little while.
Is it possible they're going to wait for Daniel to come back?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that doesn't happen that often in my neck of the woods.
Oh, really? No, I think they asked for the clock to be stopped and that they're going to wait for him. I mean, they're three-handed, and as long as all three agree, I think it's okay.
Sure.
And they already chopped the money, so it's a friendly game at this point.
Still a lot to play for. I mean, Vegard winning this thing, I mean...
No, even with the chop, indeed a lot to play for. Only one name goes on the trophy. Only one person is the Norwegian champion of poker this year. So they still all want that.
And I should have checked up on this, but I think maybe... well, I'm not really sure, but I think Vegard might have to win it to get through to Monte Carlo. He might not. Possibly he will just get it as the last longer prize out of the PokerStars players.
Yeah, I've never been to Monte Carlo, but the great thing about Las Vegas is just along the strip, you can go to 10 or 12 worldwide cities along this, like a 2-mile area of the strip. There's the Monte Carlo, which is just like Monte Carlo, that casino. There's New York, New York. It's just like New York. There's Bally's Paris, and I think the Eiffel Tower at Bally's Paris is more beautiful than the Eiffel Tower in Paris. There's the New Orleans, great city. I mean, there's so many cities you can visit while you're in Las Vegas alone. There's no reason to travel anymore. You just go to Las Vegas and you go to like 10 or 12 world cities in a 2-mile stretch.
That sounds good. Well, I have been to Monte Carlo, and well, I can tell you one thing, Norman, it's pricey.
Oh, it's another reason to just go to the Monte Carlo in Las Vegas. It can't be as expensive.
Probably not. So, Daniel, back from a short break. Vegard folds King 7 from the button. Daniel with 10 Jack in the small blind. He folds, and Afshin gets a walk.
The Venetian in Las Vegas actually has the canals, actually has the gondoliers taking you.
Oh. And they have some pretty good Italian food as well.
Actually, their Italian food might be better than the Italian food in Venice. Who knows?
Well, speaking of Italian food for the third year, what is now, I think we can call it the annual Donker Poker Cruise, the Battle of Scandinavia, will be arranged from the 19th to the 26th of October. And this time we are going to the Mediterranean, and there will be stops in both Spain, Italy, and France. So you can get both Spanish, Italian, and French cuisine all in one cruise.
That's pretty good.
And there will be poker. There will be a tournament to welcome the players. There will be a main event running over 2 days. There will be a pot limit Omaha, triple chance. There will be a deep stack re-entry. There will be a deep stack day 2, and there will be a rebuy. For more information, go to www.donkerpokercruise.com, and it's open to Scandinavian players.
And for those of you who don't know, the Mediterranean's nickname, it is the cradle of civilization. That's a pretty good place. If you're the cradle of civilization,
So Daniel raised ace king, got called by Vegard in a big blind, 5-6 suited. Top pair for Daniel on the flop. Top pair, top kicker, top, as someone once said.
Top.
Referring, of course, to Jamie Gold, who won the World Series of Poker back in,
Good memory.
2006, I believe.
And in the poker boom, probably, no, Jamie Gold, probably the least popular main event champion in the poker boom that started with Chris Moneymaker.
Well, there was some controversy regarding the first prize money afterwards. I don't remember all the details, but we don't really need to go into them, do we, Norwin?
No, we don't, but that helped his unpopularity.
And also, there was, well, quite a lot of antics at the table, Mr. Gold, at the time. And I mean, well, it worked for him, but still, some controversy also there. I mean, Paul Wasika, well, you have to see, it's kind of hard to explain it, but I mean, if you look back at the tapes, you who have seen it know what I'm talking about. If you look back at the tapes, I mean, Paul Wasika has said, I never actually said I call. There's something about that, but just Google it, you'll find all the information. It's quite interesting, but still, Paul Wasika, well, he's a gentleman. Pocket aces here for Vegard.
And there's absolutely no chance he's just going to
Limp in.
with these aces, you're telling me? Like less than 1% chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, well, it's even less % chance that someone has anything in the big blind. Unfortunately for Vegard, Daniel doesn't. And he folds. Just to go back to, his name was Paul Wasika, right?
Paul Wasika,
yeah.
yes, the runner-up the year that Jamie Gold won.
Oh, I thought you said swastika. Shit. Whoa.
I've learned already, Andreas, you hear what you want to hear.
Yeah, most of the time.
And
it works.
It often has references back to...
all roads to him lead to Hitler's compound.
Yeah.
Well, if the Mediterranean is the cradle of civilization, where do you think the grave of civilization will be?
There's no proper answer I can give. I mean, you're trying to end my career here in the City West Hotel in Dublin, where the Norwegian champions are being played in Ireland, which makes no sense, and I'm going to end my career answering that question on this live stream?
No, but I can end mine. I'm going to go with Edinburgh Island, Scotland. Edinburgh, Scotland.
As the grave of civilization?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know why, it's just a gut feeling. Some people call it intuition, you know.
So now you offended Scotland, Andreas?
Yeah, come at me, bro.
Well, if there are any Scots out there, well, preferably in Dublin, in Ireland, watching the stream right now, Andreas is sitting at the City West Hotel.
Oh, please.
Please.
By accident, we might get hurt. Yeah, I know you thought I was going to say, well, please come get him. But
Yeah.
I don't want to get any side fire.
You don't want to be in a 5-mile radius
They
of
come
me at
after
any
Andreas.
point, actually.
Well, I mean, personally, I love Scotland. I mean that seriously. That's not something I'm saying. I really love Scotland.
They have some good whiskey.
And I love the Scottish people. They are crazy, but they are fun. And the Irish people, too. Crazy, but fun. And the Welsh.
Don't get me started on the Welsh.
Even crazier and even more fun. The English? Eh. Not so much.
They're polite, though.
They are very polite.
They know how to queue.
And I mean, I'm not talking about all of the English people.
Now, we've been talking a lot about putting people into groups.
Yes. I see. Now, everything I've said has meant nothing to you all.
So, option in Vegard to the flop. Jack 9-9. A little bit for everyone because option picked up a flush draw. Pair of jacks for Vegard. 2 pair with a paired board. They both check. King of hearts. On the turn, did not help option, but he is gonna bet out. Representing that king with his flush draw. Vegard still with the best hand. He calls 1.5 million. So more than 5 million in the middle. 9 on the river. They got it with a full house. And the best hand, option checks, gives up. Well,
Should Vegard bet here or should he just check it down?
I think I would have, well, I'm no expert, but I mean, I think Vegard is going to check. If he puts in a value bet here, I'll be impressed. And it looks like I'm going to be, oh, that was a small one. Well, so that's such a small bet, and I mean, he opens up to, well, he actually opens up for option to bluff here.
Yeah, and give away the pot.
Yeah.
I was surprised he made the bet also. That's such a small one. Seemed more risk than reward there.
Yeah.
But he is the chip leader.
I think I would have checked that behind, but you know, Vegard is a lot better than me at poker.
And he's twice your age.
Well, that would make him over 50.
Option on the button. And he opens with 4-3 suited. Jack 4 for Vegard in the small blind. Ace 3 for Daniel in the big blind. Yet to act. And he just grabs one of those pink stacks, and the option is already folded.
So, Andreas, you pretty much were staining the Irish, the Scottish, and the Welsh. Were there any other parts of the old British Empire that you also would like to walk over or compliment?
Thinking about India. I'm going to get this started in India.
So that's a large piece of the British Empire. I don't think I should get you started on India.
Yeah, no, I like the Indians. No.
You like the Indians or the Indian people?
Oh. You're not supposed to say Indians, are you? Native Americans.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I like the Native Americans. No, but no, there's a cluster of islands, the Falkland Islands. I don't like them.
That whole cluster?
I don't like that cluster.
Bad traffic. The food is no good. You don't like that. What's wrong with the Falkland Islands?
All that. Drive on the wrong side of the road. Bad food.
Okay, we might have action here because Vegard raised the button. Ace Queen. Ace 10 for Daniel in the small blind. He's all in, and Vegard calls. And Daniel is the all-in player, and he is dominated. So bad news for Daniel, or Daniel Nesbakken, as we would say in Norway. Flop. Oh, and the queen on the flop. It is almost drawing dead now. Not Not quite though, but
He is-
now he is. So we lose Daniel Nesbakken in third place, and that means that we are now two-handed.
Schade, Daniel. Alles ist vorbei.
Heads up. Well played, Daniel Nesbakken. And
Yeah.
he takes home 80,000 euros to Norway.
A solid evening for him. Just played very well all night long.
They did. Let me see. Kim Ruud Iversen. No, Kim Ruud. Help me out, Andreas. Kim Ruud.
Kim Ruud.
Yeah. Well, anyway, from Nordic Bet, congratulating him on his third place finish.
So we lose the 20-something, and that leaves us with the 30-something and the 40-something heads up for the title.
Bergen versus Oslo.
As it should be. Those are the two largest cities. Bergen is the second largest city, probably.
Indeed. Wow. What's the third largest city?
I got no idea. I'd like to say Trondheim, because I love saying Trondheim to any answer, but I don't think Trondheim's the third largest city. I think Trondheim's
No,
a
but it
little
is.
smaller. Oh, it is?
It
Oh, I
is.
would have guessed fourth or fifth. Darn, I should have stuck with Trondheim. You know, that's one of the reasons I actually applied for admission at the Norwegian Institute of Science and Technology in
Yeah.
Trondheim.
Yeah.
I was not admitted.
So heads up, they got it with more than a 2-1 chip lead over Afshin Alikani.
It's a very renowned school in Norway.
Yeah, it is a pretty good school, and they correctly said that I wasn't good enough to get into it, but it would have changed my life.
Speaking of schools, you told me earlier that actually you can go into school and study poker now, Norman?
No
Well,
way.
I don't think so. I mean, there is the Norman Chad School of Poker, or Norman Chad Poker School, but that isn't an academic institute, really. It's a small gathering.
Where you just say, "Oh, you got
No,
school."
that's right. You didn't tell me that. Thor Hansen told me that.
Oh, so he might be serious.
He's actually serious. I'm sorry to have confused you with Thor there for a second, but I mean, yeah, I talked to him just before the live stream today, and he said that you can study poker at UCLA now.
I was unaware of that. That's where I live. I didn't know you could study poker.
Well-
You sure it's just not a poker course?
It might be, but still. Well, okay, it's probably poker course.
But
I mean,
I don't think it's a course about strategy. Well, I'll have to look it up. I'll have to see
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that
yeah.
is. See what that is.
or just have to ask Thor next time we see him. I forgot to ask him about it when he was commenting the stream early on today here in Dublin. But so we have a 3-bet from Afshin. Queen 8, and then gets Vegard to fold, the best hand.
Puts pressure on early in this heads up for the Norwegian Championship.
You know, when people ask me for heads up advice, I tell them frankly, I've never been heads up, so please leave me alone.
Well, there are some different takes on it. Some people say you should actually raise the button no matter what. And a lot of players do when they are heads up in a tournament. Jack 6 for Afshin. And he is going to raise. King 3 suited for Vegard. He calls. Flop is 4, 5, 10. Vegard checks. his pair of, well, he hit the pair, didn't he?
Nope.
No, he did not. No.
His king eye is still good though.
Yeah, it is. $1 million from Afshin. And the race with King High from Vegard.
This is just a great read by Vegard.
And he gets the fold. So he will be up to almost 25 million now. Afshin down to just a little more than 10 million. No, he's below 10 million actually, and Vegard is up to nearly 27 million.
So Vegard making heads up actually determines the team poker championship, correct?
Yes, it does.
Thor Hansen's a winner?
Yeah.
There we go.
So when they are heads up, the small blind is on the button. So the player on the button speaks first for the flop, and second to speak after the flop, or last to speak, I should say. So
yeah, that always confuses me. Frankly, when I get heads up, I believe one guy's the blind, the other guy's the button. Just make it one big blind and one dealer button. Simplifies it. Button acting first before the flop, acting in position after the flop. Too much for me. One blind, one button. Streamlined, simplified. Thank you. Your silence speaks volumes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not out of my mind. I'm not out of my mind. You know, sometimes, and I'm not saying this is genius, but when you have ideas that are outside the box, way outside the box, they have to be rejected a million times, sometimes by a million people, before people say, oh, wow, that makes sense. You know, Thomas Edison had the light bulb in place for like 25 years before people said, yeah, it's really better off when we have light during the night.
Yeah, well, Thomas Edison
what about Tesla?
He just ripped off Tesla.
I knew you were going to bring up the Tesla thing. All right, bad example. Ben Franklin invented the kite. I think I'm making that up. And the kite's a great thing. The kite's a wonderful thing. People look it up and go, that's the stupidest thing I've seen in the world. He's got like, it's like a cocktail napkin in the sky. What's the point of that? 25 years later, you cannot keep kites in the stores. That's how smart he was.
So he did. What about the Chinese?
And ironically, kite flying is huge in Afghanistan. Just saying.
Okay, well.
Didn't expect that, ironically, to be followed by what you said.
I might have misinterpreted the use of, ironic. But I have a question about an expression you use a lot, frankly. Was there a guy named Frank that was really upfront with people at some point?
You know, that's your smart-ass question I cannot answer. It's possible.
It wasn't, it was Frank.
And
it was Frank Lee.
Frank Lee?
Frank Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, now you have to enlighten me.
No, I use it in jest, but our rule generally is that particularly public figures, when they say frankly, or to be honest with you is another expression they'll use, then they're not being frank with you or they're not being honest with you. When they use that expression, they're usually lying to you.
Politicians and such, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but frankly derives from Frank. So I thought you knew of a guy named Frank Lee. Not frankly, but yeah.
I see.
There's probably one guy named Frank. I guess so. I'm going to find that out. I'm going to figure that out. at some point. That's
But I mean, are you going to Google it? I mean, if you Google it, you'll never have this very interesting discussion again on the OS. And
I might go to a library for this one, actually.
One of those famous lines in American movie history starts with the word frankly.
Frankly, my dear.
I don't give a damn.
Exactly.
Clark Gable in Gone with the Wind. And he meant it, so he wasn't speaking the opposite.
Afshin races the button. 1 million.
Oh, there's a poker game going.
Yeah, there is
Cool.
poker. No, wait, hold on. Flop comes king, ace, jack, 2 clubs. They got checks with the best hand. Afshin with 9 high. $3.2 million from Afshin, leaving himself with just 5.5 behind. I wonder if that, well, and he gets Vegard to fold, but still, even though he had the best hand, it was only 10 high, had a straight drop, got shot. So, there you go.
Anyway, to pursue my thought from before just a little further for you all. If you have the button, you should be in position the entire hand. I don't care if you're 10-handed, 5-handed, or heads up. If you have the button, that means you're in position. So the fact that you have to act out of position, pre-flop, heads up, eliminates the whole concept of the button. Why have the button? You should have position when you have the button from start to finish. I am done.
So we saw an exposed card. I believe that card will be the burn card, Andreas.
You are correct, sir.
And I think it was the 8 of spades. Did you get that?
I did not, but I got that raise from Vegard.
Races with king 10.
3-bet from Afshin.
Ace 6. And Vegard goes all in. And Afshin, he called, so he's all in. And the head, but still 2 live cards for Vegard, 2 high cards to option 6. And we might crown a new champion now. Even the camera is excited. Deuce 5-8. Option still ahead. And the 10 on the turn means Vegard is ahead. Afshin needs an ace or he will. Oh, and the ace falls on the river. Unbelievable. Wow. That was a 3-outer. And that's not the first miracle card we've seen at this final table.
I'm getting used to it. I knew the ace was going to come there.
Well, Barry Greenstein was right again. Ace on the river.
I saw some people from the team that is not on Vegard's team, and they were rooting really severely, and they are from Oslo, so I'm not sure. Vegard might have to win the main event for his team to be crowned champion.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You'll probably find information on donker.com. It's in Norwegian though, so if you if you're not Norwegian, well, I guess Google Translate works. Yeah, back to Barry Greenstein's book, Ace on the River. I actually, I bought that book, but I bought it as, what do you call it, sound book? No.
Book on tape?
Book on tape, yeah.
Right.
Book on tape with Barry himself narrating.
That somehow doesn't surprise me.
No. And, I mean, it's probably an excellent book. And I really like Barry Greenstein. I had the opportunity to meet him a couple of times, and he's very calm and collected. And but he has a very, for me, soothing voice, and there's not really that much highs and lows. So I mean, as well.
Apparently, the book put you to sleep.
Yeah,
listening to it on tape.
It did.
Okay.
It did. And I mean, if you sometimes have trouble sleeping, I recommend that book.
I'll let Barry know that, and that'll be a blow to his ego.
Yeah, but still, then again, I am Norwegian, and but I mean, I think I would need to buy the paperback or whatever, or knock out Barry of a tournament to get the paper
he finally
version.
stopped giving it away.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh.
He ran out of them, and he had to lug them around, and he just stopped doing it.
Damn it.
So you can no longer get a signed copy of Ace on the River when you knock Barry out of an event.
That's a shame.
Yes.
I thought that was a nice kind of.
It was a terrific.
Yeah.
It was a terrific promotion on his part. So Vegard was one card away from this title, and now he's got to compose himself, and I think he probably can compose himself as well as anybody. He now trails Afshin in chips. He's got to put himself together and hopefully can get it back.
Well, it was a €100 tournament that started at 8 o'clock local time this evening, which I had, well, I had kind of hoped I would make that tournament. That's now no chance, but still, that tournament is going on. Maybe the Pot Limit Omaha Deep Stack as well, so there are still tournaments running. Not sure how many runners are left in those tournaments. I think the tournament is started at, well, it might be still be running the Deep Stack. Yeah, even though it was a turbo. Oh, look here. Set for Vegard. Unfortunately, Afshin with Squadouche, I believe you would say, Norman.
This is what I would call nuclear Squadouche. You know, he needs runner to fill a 6-high straight to have the best hand.
And he folds his nuclear Squadouche. So we are heads up at the main event here in Dublin. We are going to be right back.